Now, as we said before, data is the fuel for AI. Let's take a look at Microsoft's many-faceted approach to serving it up and the critical importance of data governance in an AI world. Now, here is a slide I adapted from one of Satya's, where he talks about the data cloud and all the different sources in the Microsoft ecosystem of data that can be served up to AI. Used to be known as the Intelligent Data Platform. And in the limit, all enterprise data, as we've talked about, is food or fuel or fodder for the LLMs. Interestingly enough, in the middle, Satya made the comment that ChatGPT is Cosmos DB's largest user, Cosmos DB being Microsoft's premier NoSQL database. But when we look at this, particularly at the green box on the right, Fabric, what could possibly go wrong? Where is the potential speed bump in this picture? And the answer is that there's white-hot competition in this space. As big data, warehouses, and lake houses, and Delta lakes, and so on meet AI. We're seeing the battle of the data titans. Now, it's easy to say that Microsoft wins no matter what, because all of these can be hosted on Azure. Snowflake and Databricks can both be hosted on AWS as well, or Google. They are differentiated, though. Snowflake really made its name because they have a very advanced core technology. They have a nice separation of compute and data. They're independently scalable, which helps them adapt to a lot of different and diversified use cases and workloads. Databricks may have the most advanced AI implementation. They have a tool set called Mosaic AI, and they also have a very well thought out data governance capability called Unity. We'll talk about why we think it might be a walled garden in just a second. Now, those two are differentiated as they're private, as they're separate from the Microsoft offering, which is called Fabric. Unsurprisingly, it has the best integration with the Microsoft ecosystem. That is to say, with SQL Server, the relational database, Power BI, the visualization and BI tool, Copilot even, and it's deeply integrated into the Microsoft Purview compliance and data governance solution. We'll talk about that in the next few slides, but just want to emphasize that while the Databricks Unity catalog can govern all of the data that Databricks knows about and governs, manages, Purview is actually enterprise-wide, so it covers not just Fabric, but all of the Microsoft data assets. Because in an AI-centric world, as we talked about with Copilot, data governance and controls on data are critically important. What could go wrong? Well, confidential information could be leaked to a public LLM, like as what happened to Samsung in the early days of ChatGPT, or employees or anybody could access unauthorized data like that personnel or salary information that HR person put up on SharePoint inadvertently. We have to know that AI can return invalid or out of date, incorrect data. There can be privacy violations that you don't know about, and so on, and so on, and so on. And because LLMs can scrape data quickly and respond quickly to user prompts, you need to protect this data. This isn't a new concern, but it's made much more urgent by the power of AI to find data anywhere, anytime, which led to this wonderful quote that I heard from a Microsoft employee, again, in the early days of Copilot. Don't give Copilot to your admin because the admins have access to everything. So what is Microsoft doing about that? Well, they had this wonderful tool called Microsoft Purview, which is an enterprise-wide compliance and data governance service. I think of it as the unsung hero of the Microsoft portfolio. It's something that Microsoft has been investing in extensively over the past few years, somewhat independently of Copilot and AI, because customers need this anyway. In my opinion, it's years ahead of its competitors. It has a broad spectrum of capabilities. I won't go into them all, but you can take a look at just some of the capabilities listed down here below. E-discovery, sensitivity labeling, putting labels on documents and that sort of thing. Regulation-specific reporting, how How secure is my data estate from GDPR or from banking laws of a particular country and so forth. It also has specific tools for monitoring the usage of AI. How many people are using Copilot? How many people are using third-party AI tools like Perplexity or Claude? Some of the premium versions of Purview actually use AI in and of themselves to expedite manual tasks. So, for example, something like called trainable classifiers to look through all your content and say, oh, this looks like a contract. I should mark this sensitive. Do that automatically. I would say that Purview itself, or tools like Purview, in the age of AI are critically important for organizations to use. They must get their data estates in order. However, it can be a heavy lift. There's a lot of data to control. Making sure you've got it all can be a big task. So Purview compliance and data governance, it is a feature-rich service. It is essential. It's not necessarily complete. There are some screenshots of some of its capabilities like data lineage and reporting on the usage of sensitivity labels, and you report on where some of those documents potentially were leaked or exfiltrated in an unauthorized fashion. It's a new capability called Data Security Posture Management for AI. It tells you how ready you are for enterprise-wide AI deployment. And overall, Purview's ambition is to be enterprise-wide, to be your overall compliance and data governance capability for the entire data estate. However, you should know there's still limited support for third-party applications for data sources that in other clouds, and we know that almost all companies are multi-cloud these days. They are getting better. They're constantly adding new sources and connectors. But it's something you should be aware of and something to take a look at when you're getting ready to deploy. So some summary notes on data. Microsoft's ambitions are huge. They're always huge, actually. That's just Microsoft, but they will take time to complete. In the meantime, customers are faced with the familiar best of breed versus the best compatibility dilemma. To be honest, Fabric is still playing a little bit of catch up with Snowflake and Databricks. Snowflake and Databricks can both be hosted in Azure. It looks to us like Databricks is more favored than the others, but that could change over time. We should note that data governance requires both technology, Purview, which we talked about moments ago, as well as organizational transformation. Purview is an integral part of the solution, but you have to train the people to use the sensitivity labels, to respect them. You have to monitor their usage. You have to track the alerts that you get when something potentially goes wrong. For example, when data is copied to a place it shouldn't be or accessed by someone who shouldn't. And that's why we say that a well-architected, well-governed data estate will probably take organizations years to create and fully implement. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with a thought experiment. Let's just say in the future, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, some enterprise LLM can access everything, and we have a wonderfully well-governed data estate. And you can ask it any question about any data source anywhere. You have to ask why you actually need a data warehouse. Right now, we're just asking.